Hi, I'm Colin, and today we're going to do a quick experiment about how Boyle's Law works in the real world. To do this experiment today, you're going to need a couple of things. First is safety, and with that comes safety goggles, gloves, ear protection, and an apron. The next piece of equipment that you'll need today is a 55-gallon steel drum with a screw-on lid. That is crucial to the experiment because it helps keep the gas inside tightly. The second piece of equipment that you'll need is a kiddie pool with about 3/4 of water filled to the top. Then we're going to take 3 bags of ice and empty them into the water. After that, you're going to get the fire going by adding some gasoline. Now you might need adult supervision for this process. Now as we close the lid to the 55-gallon steel drum, we're going to have to lift it off here with these 2 wooden sticks. Now you can use wooden sticks, steel bars, it really doesn't matter. We're just trying to be safe here and not grab the steel drum when it's hot. Now the next step that you'll need to do is fill the 55-gallon steel drum with approximately 4 gallons of water. This is what helps create the gas and make the experiment happen. Start with opening up these bags of ice and adding it to the water. This is probably the first step you should do because it will help change the water's temperature, and that might take a while if you have a hot water source. 3 bags of ice should probably do it, but if your water is hotter than that, you should probably add about 4 to 6 bags, and these bags are roughly 6 pounds a piece, so we're looking at about probably about 20 pounds of ice that should be added to the water. More would help, but less, you're going to have some problems. Alright, next step is that we're going to have to get our safety gear on. So this is going to be the apron, and it doesn't matter what step it goes in, it's just that we got to get it all on. This is to help protect me from any burns I can cause by myself when the barrel could bump into me, or even if this hot coal is popping in the air. That could also be another cause. Next is the hearing protection. We're going to need that because as it shrinks, it might make a loud noise, or we might have an explosion happen if the experiment goes wrong. So always protect yourself. Alright, the next step is applying gloves because that will help keep your hands safe from the hot barrel. The last step is just going to putting on goggles to avoid any embers flying in the air that could possibly land in your eye. Alright, now we're going to apply the gasoline to the heat source. Now I have probably about 4 pounds to 6 pounds of wood that is shredded, so wood chips or any other material you'd like to use that would create a fuel. Now I'm going to take this gasoline. I'm not going to pour that much in there because gasoline is flammable, highly flammable. Now I just applied it to all the areas around because I want to have a steady heat source, not just all in one area. Next, I'm going to take my lighter and I'm going to be careful about this process. An adult may have to step in for this situation. I'm going to take my lighter, I'm going to light the very source of the gas, and it should just light up. Now we wait for the 55-gallon steel drum to create a boil which will represent itself at the top of the drum. Alright, now we have a boil that's coming right at the top, and that's just what we want. That's the perfect temperature, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to put it into the pool. Alright, now we're going to put the lid on this 55-gallon steel drum to conceal the gas inside. Alright, now we're sealing the lid. Now we're going to take it off. Now quickly, Alright, so let's take a look at what just happened after Boyle's Law was at work. We have a 55-gallon steel drum that was completely intact, and now it's shriveled up almost probably in half the size it was. Now, if we take a look at this graph, you'll see that as the Boyle's Law is in place, the pressure increases, but then the volume decreases. And that's exactly what happened here with this 55-gallon steel drum, is that when the pressure increased and you had a change in the state, the atmospheric pressure became greater than the pressure that was going on inside. And that's why it shrank. And that happens all the time, including in submarines. If there's stories about how submarines went down to a certain depth and they collapsed, well, that's exactly what happened here. Don't you guys just love Boyle's Law? I love it too. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great summer.